Hello everyone, it's Puppy Baby 15 here, and I had difficulty filming this because I lost my brushes, and I think I know where I left them, and the classes after ours, I know they didn't survive at all. I'm going to be honest here and say I got my idea from Emily Artful. She's the only one I see doing these sketchbook story times. So I guess I should give her credit where credit is due. Now, this is a story about how one tooth ruined my life. To give some background, I was a kid who really hated brushing my teeth and loved eating candy and loved getting stomach sick and such. The first mistake dentists have done with me is I had a really bad cavity in one of my adult molars, and they decided to remove it without putting a spacer, meaning that area would close up. Now let's get to the real story. When I was 7 years old, I played on these stool things. We have stools in our kitchen, and I was playing on them, dancing on them, stepping from one to the other, and my dad told me, hey, need to stop doing that. And of course, being the 7-year-old I am, I didn't listen. So I fell, and my right front tooth hit the table, root and all came out. I'm sorry if that grossed some of you out. I already put a warning. I didn't feel any pain. It wasn't painful. But there was a lot of blood. And of course I panicked. I ran to my mom. And it was late at night, so I couldn't really go anywhere. So we decided to wait the night, and we went to the dentist in the morning. Now, I don't really want cool smiles to sue me or anything. This is my genuine experience. It's what happened. Maybe the people there were not really good, but when I got there, they put me in one of the back rooms where they do the surgeries and such. They strapped me down to the seat from my shoulders to my ankles, and they shoved that tooth back in my mouth. And I swear that's the most traumatizing thing that ever happened to me. Sitting there screeching in pain as they continue to shove that thing in my mouth. And all my mom could do to comfort me was rub my toe because I was wearing sandals. And they weren't prepared for any of this, obviously. So what they used to bind my teeth together was an unfolded paperclip. Obviously, with all these mouth stuff, I can't remember the exact details, but I had to visit a dentist a lot. And I became deathly scared of them for obvious reasons. They recommended us to this more professional dentistry, like for adults or something. And I can't remember the name of it. But he used us for money. Long before my tooth that was shoved back into my mouth, it had grown an infection. and it was not viable. There was no way it was going to be able to stay in my mouth. It was too late. And this dentist, he knew that. It took us going to Cool Smiles again to say, hey, you might want to get this removed. It is infected. You can't do anything about it. And I believe this dentist, he already knew this, and he just wanted our money, and he was like, no, just keep these makeshift braces in, they're gonna work, even though I'm pretty sure everyone knew that tooth wasn't going to be there any longer. That wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was all the bullying that happened. First, I was called train tracks because of my braces. Then, after my tooth was taken out, they made fun of the gap. And people, teenagers especially, they just do not understand boundaries, and they can't. It seems to be the first thing everyone goes to. I'm still slightly insecure about that. It's hard. I'm glad to say that I'm more comfortable with my mouth, and I don't plan on getting an implant. I believe it's not necessary. I just think it's the dentist wanting to get more money out of me. And the reason why I put molars in the picture was because of when I got my wisdom teeth removed. This is important because it's when we discovered that the molar that needed a spacer when I was younger and they removed it was stuck. And this procedure was very risky because the tooth could have punctured my nasal canal, and it was scary. I opted for anesthesia. I went under. I don't remember a thing. And honestly, I'm glad. I don't think I will be able to handle people taking my teeth out again. It sounds like a really bad story time, and probably one of the worst y'all have heard, and I'm sorry for that, but it's a difficult story for me. It's one of the more interesting aspects of my life, sadly. I don't have many interesting stories. Let's change the subject a bit. So as you see, I've been painting with my fingers, and it's not the best because it rips off the paper really badly. And the finest point I could get was my pinky, and I have really chubby fingers, as you can see. The paper was so ruined when I removed the masking tape, it just tore it apart. But I guess fingers instead of brushes is more raw and emotional, or some other artistic shit. I've never been ashamed of my art, but this one's one of the worst. I don't think I'll be able to post it on Instagram either. By the way, I've also been planning to open a Patreon, and I want your comments below to see how that would go, or like, would you like that? Bye guys, see you in the next video.